I'm just going to place you guys on auto track, which you can come with me for an LAHR run. Let's start the watch. Hey Maggie, what do you reckon? All right, so Tuesday here, beautiful afternoon here. I reckon it may even rain a little bit. Looks really nice out where I am to my right, but behind the camera, behind you guys, is even towards our left over here a little bit. It's looking a little bit rainy. So, all right. So we'll just see how we're going. See how the morning, see how the afternoon goes. Oh, this is so good. All right, so it's this afternoon on a Tuesday afternoon. I am just heading out. I've got like 15 minutes. I might even be able to stretch it to about 18 minutes of time that I've got up my sleeve. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of LAHR in. So you guys can join me in for a little bit of LAHR. Now LAHR, if you don't know what that is low aerobic heart rate. And that's a specific training modality built towards building. Oh, where are you guys? There we go. Come back. Let's try that again. Auto track. All right. You guys, you got to stay with me, yeah? I'm only doing LAHR training and you're not even keeping up. Come on. You're such a weirdo, Nathan. How far has technology come, hey? Talking to you guys while the drone's all the way up there. So low aerobic heart rate training is just a way for me to measure my intensity. It's a heart rate zone below MAF, which is maximum aerobic function, and this keeps my heart rate really low and even away from like a top end type aerobic training session. So this is very easy. So very dull, nothing too fancy. Any cars? All right, let's go, Maggie. But this is where all good training really is done in an easy state. Good aerobic training, that is, anyway. Obviously not threshold work, but to build a foundation of fitness, which I've just come out of a good couple of months of like pushing myself. So I don't feel like I need to really continue that, especially because I haven't got any events sort of coming along at the moment. So I'd rather just focus on building my aerobic conditioning and just keeping things pretty calm and collected. So why am I out here? Why am I only out here for 18 minutes? Well, I'm just breaking shift now, so worked for the day. Now I'm gonna have my little break here for 18 minutes, and then Nick will be home with the kiddies, and I'll see them for about an hour. So we'll probably go for a walk, more aerobic training, let the kids go to the park. There's this new park here to our right side, which is just going off its head at the moment. It seems to be the most popular park, and obviously something new. All the kids are there and having a good time. But once we've spent that hour or so together, I've then got another 2 phone calls that I've got. And then I'm actually going to do another commute run tonight to second gig, second job for the day. Look how pretty that is. I don't know if you guys can see that if I go up a little bit. Maggie, come here, baby. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Maggie. Good girl. Seriously do think it's going to rain though. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going to happen. Definitely feel like it, for sure. Now, 18 minutes doesn't really sound worth it, right? I should get about 3K done within this 18-minute block. And 3K means nothing. Now, I'm now going to go and run tonight again. It's raining. I may have to bring you guys down before I know it. So tune in for as long as you can. Where are we going to go? We're going to go back up this way, mate. Ooh, I don't like the rain with a drone. You go back that way. We might have to head a little bit closer back to home. What do you think, Max? Go up. Yep. Alright. We might have to head a little bit closer to home because I don't want that drone. I don't want you guys to get wet. Funny joke. People don't like getting wet to rain. People don't like running and getting wet. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I reckon it's the best. But the only reason why I'm going to have to go home now, well, I don't want my drone wet. Alright, I'm going to tell you more reasons why in the next part as to why it's really important to make sure that when you are going to do your LAHR training, the focus is not just in one session, the focus is what you do over the week. That's the priority, what you do over the week. Let's go over that in the next video. I'll talk in a little bit. How cool is that? It's a little 2-minute delay for my commute to second job. All right, so I'm packed up, booted up. Got one boot there. I got my other boot there, and we're en route. So it's now a bit before 7 p.m. on Tuesday night, and I've done my job for the day, and now we're going to go and do something different for the night, which I'm super pumped about. There's something special about testing yourself just to do stuff that you would never really do, right? Like, I never thought that I'd be want to work 2 different types of jobs. It was always do online, do fitness classes, and do personal training, but it was all revolved around the thing. I never thought that I would be able to spread my wings a little bit, but it's cool. So, to finish off on that conversation that I was having with you guys about the LAHR training, because it did start raining, not a heap, but hey, a drone is not worth getting a few drops of rain for a little bit of extra footage. So pulled the pin, quickly got the drone back home, managed to do a bit over 2K. Now, I had 18 minutes, that obviously didn't take 18 minutes to do, so I would have got a little bit of extra done, but anyway, I am a massive advocate for taking advantage of the time that you have, because when you're busy and when you've got a packed schedule, you cannot rely just on a 60-minute training block that you think that you're going to have every single day. It just doesn't work like that. In my life, it doesn't work like that anyway, and a lot of the people that I coach, people are just too busy to be like, right, yeah, every day I've got, you know, the same time slot, 60 minutes to be training. It very rarely ever happens. Sometimes it does, but not always, and it's not reliable. But whereas what is reliable is taking advantage of the time that you have when you have it. That is important, and that is what I have learned over the years. I guess I've gotten a little bit wiser as my years have gotten on with my training, and I would think a 15-minute training session would be useless. But if you look at an example as tonight, I'm gonna run 9 kilometers now. Just because I did that 2K beforehand, because I had a spare 15, 18 minutes, you know, in my schedule, I've now done 11 for the day. And if it didn't rain, and I didn't have my drone with me, I would have done 12. You know, there's not a lot of difference between 9 and 12, and I get that. But if you accumulate that decision, might go this way. If you accumulate that decision over just 3 times this week, right, that's an extra 3K in this run. If I did that 3 times, that's another 9K run that I've just found time for. So it doesn't mean a lot in the little moment. Like, you know, sure, you go, right, I got 18 minutes. You could have a coffee. You could, I don't know, have a nap. You could do whatever you want to do, right? But if you just take advantage of that little time, you could go for a walk within that time. And if you're already walking, well, think that's another 15 minutes that you weren't going to do, that you had the time for. And when it comes to building your fitness and becoming really fit and, you know, feeling energetic, your aerobic fitness is very important. This is aerobic fitness. Walking is aerobic fitness. All these sorts of things is aerobic fitness. Very, very healthy for the body, very healthy for the brain as well. Now, the usual way of looking at this is you've got to be training, you know, hard. You got to do HIIT training. A lot of people think that you got to go to the gym to do this sort of stuff, or you've got to be out here, you know, killing yourself to get fit. And that's why I reckon a lot of people don't do it. And then on top of that reason is people are busy and they go, oh, well, I haven't got 45 minutes or 60 minutes on me, so it's not worth it at all. But if you were to snag 15 minutes every day on top of what you're doing, that accumulates to so much more time over the whole week. It's just trying to think about it a little bit differently. And I was there in that same mindset for a really long time, where I thought, well, if I'm not training for 60 minutes and I'm not pushing my limits, it's not worth it. But I really struggled to progress my fitness in any direction that I wanted to, and that was because it was too hard. Therefore, I couldn't do it consistently enough. And when it comes to training and getting fit, you've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent with what you're doing and going that little bit easier, right? And even blocking up your training sessions, like breaking them up, can go a massive way. Something I very much am very passionate about when I work with clients. I don't work with people who, you know, have nothing to do all day. I work with people who are very busy, who are goal orientated, and usually already trying really hard, but yet can't make it work. Now, if you go for a run for 60 minutes in a day, if you're just looking for sound fitness, if you just did 2 half-an-hour runs, it'll accumulate to the same, very close to the same benefit. But people don't think that. So you might have half an hour in the morning, you know, and you might have half an hour in the afternoon or at lunchtime, and it might not distract you away from something else that you got to do at home. So what I want you to take away from this is you don't have to just do a sequence of training, right? So you got your training plan. This is what you're telling yourself to do. Sometimes you got to break it up, and don't feel bad about it, because if you break it up and you'll go for how much can you accumulate over the whole week, it'll add up so close to the same benefit that, you know, getting stressed about not doing it in one go is not worth it. And then you go one up from that and go, right, I've got a spare 10 minutes here. I can either do nothing and sit on social media, or I could freaking get to work and go for a 1 kilometer power walk. All right, that's how I realistically changed my training, right? So, not that I'm on Strava a whole lot, but anytime I've been on Strava, you'll see, like when I log my runs, there's nothing impressive. I don't do religious training where I'm like doing sets and sets and sets and sets of stuff. I am accumulating a lot of small bouts of time because I just find my lifestyle is a little bit hectic, and sometimes trying to find a block of 60 minutes or 90 minutes is easier said than done. So I have to gravitate towards smaller chunks of training to get it all done. You know, sometimes there's those perfect weeks where I get to, you know, do the program as I've written it, but my main goal when I'm in a base building phase is I just got to accumulate the time that I need to accumulate. How I do that doesn't matter so much. So maybe that's a tip for you, or something for you to think about. You know, if you're getting stressed that you can't get your training session done and you do nothing, well, go and do a little bit of it. Go and do an inch of that training session, and you'll just see it'll turn your whole mindset, and you'll start looking for little gaps in your day. Where's a little 10-minute block here? Where's a little bit of a 5-minute block here? Maybe I could do another 10 push-ups here. Living healthy and fit is all about monotony. Once you know what healthy and fit is, it's the same shit on repeat. Get the basics down and repeat it as regularly as you can. I got another 3K until I'm where I want to be. I got 25 minutes to get there. Cruising for time. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you in the next video. And I wouldn't have slept, and I'll be running back that way to the car. See you there. Bye bye.